प्रविश्यं वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च सप्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः जिह्विश्चाभिभृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। 79 नित्यं योगिमनस्सरोजलसञ्चारक्षणस्त्वत्क्रमः शम्भो तेन कथं कठोरयमराड्वक्षकवाटक्षरिः अत्यन्तं मृदुलं त्वदङ्घ्रियुगलं हामे मनश्चिन्तयत्येतल्लोचनगोचरं कुरु विभो हस्तेन संवाहये येष्यत्येष जनिं मनोऽस्य कठिनं तस्मिन्नटानीति मद्रक्षायै गिरिसीम्निकोमलपदं न्यासः पुराभ्यासितः नो चेद्दिव्यगृहान्तरेषु सुमनस्सल्पेषु भेद्यादिषु प्रायः सत्सु शिलातलेषु नटनं शम्भो किमर्थं तव कञ्चित् कालं माहेशवतां पादारविन्दार्चनैः कञ्चित् ध्यानसमाधिभिश्च नतिभिः कञ्चित् कथाकर्णनैः कञ्चिदवेक्षणैश्च नुतिभिः कञ्चित् दशामीदृशीं यः प्राप्नोति मुदा त्वदर्पितमनाः जीवन् समुक्तः खलु बाणत्वं वृषभत्वमर्धवपुषा भार्या त्वमार्यापते घोणित्वं सखिता मृदङ्गवहता चेत्यादिरूपं दधौ त्वत्पादे नयनार्पणं च कृतवान् तद्देहभागो हरिः पूज्यात् पूज्यतरः स एव हि न चेत् को वा तदन्योऽधिकः जननमृत्युतानां सेवया देवतानां न भवति सुखलेशः संशयो नास्ति तत्र अजनिममृतरूपं साम्बमीशं भजन्ते यैह परमसौख्यं ते धन्या लभन्ते. We are done up to this verse 83. So, yaiha paramasaukyam tehi dhanya labhanti. Tehi dhanyaha paramasaukyam labhanti. Ke dhanyaha paramasaukyam labhanti. Ke dhanyaha. Dhanyaha because paramasaukyam labhanti. Ke dhanyaha. So he says, Sambamisham ye bhajanti. The one who worship Parameshwar. Okay, now we move on to the next. Shivatava paricharya sannidhanaya gaurya. Shivatava paricharya sannidhanaya gaurya. Shivatava paricharya sannidhanaya gaurya. Bhava mama gunadhuryam.
Bhava mama gunadhuryam. Bhava mama gunadhuryam.
Buddhikanyam pradasye.
Buddhikanyam pradasye. Buddhikanyam pradasye.
Sakala bhuvana bandho Satchidananda sindho.
Sakala bhuvana bandho Satchidananda sindho. Sakala bhuvana bandho Satchidananda sindho.
Sadaya hridaya gehe.
Sadaya hridaya gehe. Sadaya hridaya gehe.
Sarvada sambasatvam.
Sarvada sambasatvam. Sarvada sambasatvam.
So the last verse as well as this verse, and I think the next one also, all the three are in the meter called Malini. Okay. Malini. Malini has 15 syllables. What is the Lakshana of Malini? Nana Maya Yuteyam Bhogi Lokai. Nana Maya Yuteyam. Nana Maya Nagana Nagana Magana Yagana Yagana. Nana Maya Yuteyam Malini. Then he says Bhogi Lokai. Bhogi is Bhogi. Normally we use the word Bhogi to refer to someone who enjoys, who continuously engages in pleasures. So whether it is Sukha Bhoga or Dukha Bhoga does not matter. Both of them are Bhogis only. But generally we use it for Sukha. Bhogi, Rogi, etc. They are all formed in a similar way. Bhogi here refers to serpent, Loka refers to 7. So there is a pause. After 8 syllables, there will be a pause. Bhogi refers to 8 and Loka refers to 7 in Bhuta Sankhya. Bhogi Lokai. So here, Shivatava Paricharya, up to that, we give a pause. Sannidhanaya Gaurya. Here you may not find, this kind of a pause is usually referred to as Yati Bhanga. This Yati, it is desirable that it ends with the Pada, but it need not necessarily be considered only when the Pada ends. In many verses you will find, as long as the words involved in the Samastapada end, that is okay. So here in this particular case, the first quarter, you don't see the word ending as such. Paricharya Sannidhanaya. So Paricharya Sannidhanaya is a compound word. But we just take it as Yati there. Shivatava Paricharya Sannidhanaya Gaurya Bhava Mama Gunadhurya Buddhikanyam Pradasye. Here the verb is Pradasye. Pradasye means I give. What do I give? The Bhakta says Buddhikanyam Pradasye. I will give you Kanya in the form of my Buddhi. Buddhi Rupa ya Kanya Tam Aham Tvam Pradasye. I want to give you. So it is like Kanyaka Dana. Kanyaka Dana is considered the most precious Dana. And here the devotee says, the Kanyaka in the form of my Buddhi, I want to give it to you. Before doing this Kanyaka Dana, the family will always check whether the bridegroom will keep the Kanyaka well or not, correct? So unless you do that kind of a investigation, nobody actually immediately gives away. This doesn't happen. So here in this verse, we will find almost 5 different phrases that have been employed by Bhagavad Pada in order to address Parameshwar. So these 5 phrases sort of indicate to us the kind of homework that has been done in order to give away this Kanya to Parameshwar. Understand? So this Kanyaka Dana is for Parameshwara. So what are the words that are employed if you just look at? So in the first quarter we find the word Sambodhana, He Shiva. Then in the second quarter of the verse you find He Bhava. Then in the third quarter of the verse we find Sakala Bhuvana Bandhu, and one more addressing word, Sachidananda Sindhu. If you go to the fourth quarter, you find the word Sadaya. All of them are in Sambuddhi. Okay? So Shivatava Parichalya Sannidhanaya Gaurya Bhava. Initially when I was reading this verse, this bhava, normally sukhi bhava is what we see. It sounded like a kriya pada, but that is not the case. Here it is a sambuddhi, see, bhava. In fact, we have this bhavo bhavatu bhavyaya lila tandava pandidaha. Bhavaha actually has different shades of meaning. We look into each of these sambuddhi and then try to understand what Bhagavad Pada has in his mind while using these particular words. Okay, so here it is basically a vivaha of Buddhi and Parameshwara. Okay, so that is what we have to understand the context. Okay, so this vivaha is to be a permanent vivaha, not something which will be diverse immediately. Okay, so this vivaha one has to ensure that it happens properly, and therefore so he uses all these phrases. He Shiva. The word Shiva normally refers to Mangalam. Shiva means Mangalam. Mangala Rupaha Shivaha. So auspiciousness is what is referred to by the word Shiva. In fact, this Kalidasas usage of the word Shiva as Mangalam, I will tell you. Upapannam nanu Shivam.
Upapannam nanu Shivam. Upapannam nanu Shivam.
Saptasvangeshu yasya me.
Saptasvangeshu yasya me. Saptasvangeshu yasya me.
Daivinam manushinam cha.
Daivinam manushinam cha. Daivinam manushinam cha.
Pratiharta tvamapadam.
Pratiharta tvamapadam.
Pratiharta tvamapadam. This verse is rendered by Dilipa to Vasishtha. This scenario is, so Dilipa reaches Vasishtha Ashrama, and then the sage Vasishtha actually asks him, are you fine? So is everything fine? Now the kind of reply that is given by him is something which is to be learnt. It's quite interesting. Upapannam nanu Shivam. Saptasvangeshu yasya me. He says this Mangalyam. Okay. So is something, Mangalatvam is something which is bound to be there. Why? He says Daivinam manushinam cha pratiharta tvamapadam. What is the implication here? The implication is, it is a tapasya that people like you are doing, which enables us to enjoy all prosperity and not the wrath of the nature. Understand? Daivinam manushinancha, whether it is a calamity that is generated by nature or a calamity that is created by our own people, both of them are avoided. How are they avoided? So by your performance of the rituals, your prarthana to the nature is blessing, and so too by your tapashakti, the buddhi of the people is also something which is going to be very conducive for running the kingdom without fighting with each other. Okay? Daivinam manushinam cha pratiharta tvamapadam upapannam nanu shivam. Nanu means indeed. Indeed, what else can be expected in my kingdom than Mangal? Okay. Shivam is used in the sense of Mangala. Okay. Saptasvangeshu yasya me. Saptasu angeshu means there are 7 different portfolios which have to be managed in a kingdom. Okay. There are various angas to be governed. Okay, this is treasury, this is something, these kinds of things. Okay. Now this word Shiva refers to Mangala. Now the in-law family, he considers Parameshwara as Mangala Swarupa, and therefore there is no need to worry about giving away the Kanya. Okay, from his viewpoint. Okay, from the viewpoint of the father-in-law, mother-in-law and the family. From the viewpoint of Kanya also, he is a very auspicious person, so I will be very happy to marry him. Okay, so that is the idea. So Shiva is the first word. Upapannam nanu Shivam, that Mangala Rupa, that is what is meant. Shiva. Then he says, Tava Paricharya Sannidhanaya. Why do I want to give the buddhi? He says, Paricharya Sannidhanaya Gaurya. Gaurya Saha Paricharya Sannidhanaya. In order to help Gauri in executing the duties which are supposed to be performed by a patni to a pati. So she has various things to be done. So there will be an assistance for Gauri. Okay. That assistance is going to be provided by Buddhi. Buddhi Kanya. Aham Buddhi Kanyam Pradasye. Then he says Bhava. Bhava is the second activity. What does the word Bhava mean? In fact, we have this, no? Bhava Shankara Deshiyame Sharanam. Prasiddha. Bhava. See, Bhava can be understood in 2 ways. One is, see, Bhavarthe, you can think of Bhuyate iti Bhavaha. Okay, that is one way. So the other way of understanding this Bhava is, so that which emanates from, Bhavatyasmat iti Bhavaha. This is another way of deriving. Now, Bhuyate iti Bhavaha, if you take, so that also makes sense. See, while you decide to give away the bride, okay, so he has to be there permanently. Bhavaha, Bhuyate he is going to be existing. Okay. So therefore, this Bhava is also meaningful. The other more important aspect is Bhavatyasmat means Asmat Bhavati. After all, this institution of marriage is essentially for procreation. Okay. So Prajatantum Avyavachetsi. Okay. So that is what is marriage for. Prajayi Grihamethina. That is what Raghuvansa says. Okay. Prajayi Grihamethina. Now this Bhava indicates two aspects one can see. One is this Parameshwara is interested in Prajotpatti. Okay, so because things get generated from him. So this Parameshwara's interest is ensured by the word Bhava. Okay. So in last that he will be existing, it is from that meaning that will be he. He is going to be existing not immediately temporal in nature. Okay, therefore you can safely give. This is one aspect. The other aspect is, see, Bhavatyasmati means Asmat Prajotpattihi Bhavati. So this may be something which is of interest to Kanya as well as the other party. Right? Buddhi Kanyam Pradasye. So Prajotpattihi Bhavishyati. Okay? So it is in that sense to indicate we have the phrase Bhava. Bhava Mama Gunadhuryam. This is also very important. Mama Gunadhuryam Kanyam Pradasye. Okay. This Gunadhurya is an adjective to Kanya. Okay. So how do we understand the word? Gunaihi Dhurya Gunadhurya. Okay. The word Dhuryaha. Dhuryaha. See, this Dhuryaha actually means one who is foremost. Shresthaha ityarthaha. Okay. Dhuryaha. Shresthaha. How do we get the meaning? Actually, the literal meaning of Dhuryaha is the one who is taking burden. Dhuryaha. The one who takes burden is Dhuryaha. So one who is capable of taking burden is another meaning that one can get from Dhuryaha. Okay. In fact, Dhurandharaha is also used. Okay. So Dhuryaha. Now here he uses this in the compound Gunadhuryam. Okay. So Gunadhuryam Kanyam. Okay. So Gunaihi Dhurya. So this word, one who has the ability to take the burden. So the institutions, big institutions, are left into the hands of people who have the ability to take the burden to run the institution. Right? So therefore he has to be foremost in many aspects. Then only huge institution will be given to. Right? So similarly here, the word Dhurya is employed in the sense of foremost. Now, Gunaihi Dhurya, Gunadhurya. Okay. So, if we just take literally one who is sort of having the burden means Gunaihi Dhurya, it doesn't sound well because the Guna is not literally taken as a burden. Okay. It is taken as a virtue. So, therefore, the one who is foremost among those who have virtues. Okay. So that is the meaning that has to be given to Gunadhuryam. So who is referred to? This Kanya. So this Buddhi Kanya is Gunadhurya. There seems to be another intention in using the word Gunadhurya, if you think a little bit. Unless this Kanya is going to be Gunadhurya, he is going to be a source of burden. So he may have some virtues, you may just push this girl. But then unless this girl is filled with virtues, so it is not going to be useful. Number one. Number two, so he first of all uses this word Gaurya. You understand? Gaurya Paricharya Sannidhanaya is what he says. That is all the more important. So you already have Parvati, you have one more person, Kanyam Pradasye. Okay. Second Kanya is going to be given to you. Unless this girl is virtuous, she will pick up quarrel with Parvati. Understand? So therefore he says, Gunadhuryam Buddhi Kanyam, don't worry, you can just take. So she is full of virtue, she will be very, very accommodative and only helpful, not a source of burden. See, that is what he intends by using this phrase. See, Bhava Mama Gunadhuryam Bhakti Kanyam Pradasye, Buddhi Kanyam Pradasye. In fact, I am reminded of a nice verse in Valmiki Ramayana. There also, while giving Sita, Yam Sita Mama Sutta,
Yam Sita Mama Sutta, Yam Sita Mama Sutta,
Saha Dharma Charitava, Saha Dharma Charitava, Saha Dharma Charitava, Pratichachainam Bhadrante, Pratichachainam Bhadrante, Pratichachainam Bhadrante, Panim Grinhishva Panina, Panim Grinhishva Panina, Panim Grinhishva Panina. So there, the prarthana of Janaka is this, while giving Yam Sita Mama Sutta. So he is not a normal person. Janaka, famous king. So she is the daughter of such a famous king. Mama Sutta. Therefore, by lineage, so she knows how to deal with people in the power. So Yam Sita Mama Sutta, number one. Second aspect is, so Janaka is supposed to be a jnani. Understand? And he is full of virtues, Janaka. And being my daughter, she will also be full of virtues. Okay? Mama Sutta. Then further, to give him more confidence, he says, Saha Dharmachari Tava. Dharmachari means one who will be with you in following all the dharmas. Okay? Saha Dharmachari Tava. Okay? So therefore, hey Rama, so please take her hands by your hands. Panim Grinhishva Panim. So Bhadram Te, all that will happen good for you. Okay? So that is how he says. Similarly, here he says Gunadhuryam Buddhi Kanyam Pradasye. Then we have the third addressing word, Sakala Bhuvana Bandho. Sakala Bhuvana Bandho. Bandhu is used to refer to those who have a certain kind of binding. Okay? Those who have a certain kind of binding with you. This binding could be due to the lineage in which we come from. Okay? The kind of relations that we have and so on and so forth. So this word bandhu is used only to refer to someone who is bound to help you when you are in distress. In other words, if you are a bandhu, then you are supposed to reach out when the other person is in trouble. Okay? So this is how the word bandhavyam. Earlier also we came across this. Okay? So he was referring to Parameshwara as a bandhu, and therefore it is your duty to save me and so. Here he says Sakala Bhuvana Bandho. You are bandhu, so not only to me but to the entire world. Okay? So if you are bandhu to the entire world, then I am sure that you are necessarily going to take care of my daughter. Okay? Buddhi Kanya. Okay. Sakala Bhuvana Bandho it also implies the virtue that one finds in the bridegroom to take care of the bride. Okay, Sakala Bhuvana Bandho, and therefore I am very confident. So I am not burdening you with a useless person. So that is indicated by Gunakriya. Okay, so Sakala Bhuvana Bandho is expressing confidence in Parameshwara that you will take care. Now, the fourth phrase is Satchidananda Sindho. Satchidananda Sindho. This Satchidananda has three parts, right? What are the three parts? Sat, Chit, Ananda is what we say. The Sat normally we use to refer to something which is existing. Okay. So, and with reference to this word Sat used to refer to Brahman. Okay. So, Ishvara, we take it to be something which is eternal in nature. Here in this context, it need not be taken that way. It can be taken simply as referring to Sattva Guna itself. If you want to Bhava Pratyaya, suppose you take Bhavarthe, then Sattvam can be referred to as Sat. Now, the Sattva Guna Vishishtatvam of Parameshwara is indicated by the word Sat. In fact, we use to refer to people as Sat. Ete Santaha. Right? Santaha means they are existing, that doesn't mean. Santaha means Sattva Guna Vishishtaha. Those who have abundant Sattva Guna, they are considered as Satpurushaha. Ete Satpurushaha. We use no. So Sattvam here is the Sattva Guna. So that Sattva Guna, if it is found in abundant measure, in fact, the qualities of Sattva Guna, Bhagavad Gita we have, no? Nibadhanti Mahabaho Dehe Dehinam Avyam Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat. Repeat.
Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat. Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat.
Prakashakamanāmayam.
Prakashakamanāmayam. Prakashakamanāmayam.
Sukhasangena Badhanati.
Sukhasangena Badhanati. Sukhasangena Badhanati.
Jnanasangena Chanagha.
Jnanasangena Chanagha. Jnanasangena Chanagha.
Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat. So this Nirmalatvat Prakashakam Anamayam Sukhasangena Badhanati. So that is what we need to understand here. Sukhasangena Badhanati. This Sattva Guna, if it is present in abundance, then this basically ties the person with happiness. He can't but be happy. And those who come in contact will also be somehow imbibing that happiness by his association. So that is what is meant by Sat. Okay, that is why we repeatedly say Satsanga, Satsanga, Satsanga. Okay, now come to this Satchidananda Sindhu. So here you can think of the Sindhu is ocean. Okay, you are an ocean of Sattva Guna. You are an ocean of Chaitanya. Okay, Chit Swarup. Nobody wants to give the daughter to some dullard. So if he is some Vidyavan Purusha, then it is okay. So you are Chit Swarupa, and therefore this Kanyam Pradasi Satchit Ananda. Ananda is also something which is supreme happiness that is referred to here. Okay. Vishaya Janita Sukham is Swaswarupa Sukham. So you are an embodiment of happiness. So therefore, I have no hesitation in giving no hesitation in giving my kanya to you. Imam buddhi kanyam tubhyam pradasye. So that is what he says. Okay. So now the first 3 quarters are over. Shivatava paricharya sannidhanaya gaurya bhava mama gunadhuryam bhava mama gunadhuryam buddhi kanyam pradasye sakala bhuvana bandho satchidananda sindho. In the last quarter he says Sadaya hridaya gehe sarvada samvasati. Now he says the intent of this, it is just a poetic way of saying. What does this essentially mean? So I am giving my buddhi kanya to you means, so you be here in my buddhi, right? So it essentially means, so you stay with me. Okay. So this is what he is trying to say. You always reside in my thoughts. This is what it means. And now one can question, how qualified are you for me to reside in your buddhi? So for that he uses this addressing word sadaya. Sadaya means daya saha vartate, the one who has dayalu, okay, like kripalu. So all which pratyaya, it refers to something in abundance. Sadaya is the word. So sadaya, since you are an embodiment of compassion, so out of this compassion, why don't you please come and stay here? Okay, hridaya gehe sarvada samvasatvam. Please come and reside here for all times. Okay? So this is what he is saying. Now repeat.
Shivatava paricharya
sannidhanaya
gaurya buddhi kanyam pradasye sakadhuvana bandho satchidananda sindho sadaya hridaya sarvada sambasatvam.
Gehe means grihe. So grihe sarvada sambasa. So what is the griha here? Hridaya gehe. Will you come and stay here in the house of my heart? Okay. Sarvada sambasatvam. Okay. Now the next one. Jaladhimathana dakshaha
Jaladhimathana dakshaha
naiva patala bhedi
naiva patala bhedi
nacha vanamrigayayam
nacha vanamrigayayam
naiva lubdhah praveenaha
naiva lubdhah praveenaha
ashana kusuma bhusha Vastramukhyam saparyam Kathaya kathamahante Kalpaya nindu maule So here the addressing word is Indumaule. Indumaulihi. How do you get the word?
Induhu Maulo, yes.
See, Bahubali. Induhu Maulo Yasya Saha Indumaulihi. Okay, like Chakrapani. Now he says, Hey Indumaule, O Parameshwara, Indumauli, Kathamahante Kalpayani. How is it that I will be able to achieve this? Achieve what? Achieving the performance of puja. The word saparya means puja. Okay. So this is occurring in that is where I have heard for the first time in Sivanandalahari. You have an interesting verse. See, saparya paryayaha tava bhavatu yanme vilasitam. Saparya paryayaha. Saparya means puja. So there we will come to that if time permits. So now, so the saparya is puja. So the saparyam katham aham te kalpayani iti tvam kathaya. You tell me, how is it that I can do this saparya? Okay. So what does this saparya involve? This puja, when you say, what does puja involve? So puja, we will first so you say adhyayami, avahayami, asanam samarpayami, and so on. We will just start. Then, so vastram samarpayami, abharanam samarpayami, then some nevedyam. So all that will be there, right? Here he says that it is very difficult for me to find these things which are used by you. You understand? So if you invite somebody, see, suppose I invite Aniruddha. So his sasanam will be, so you prepare some sweets, you prepare something, he will be very happy. Okay? So it is very easy. And so suppose you want to honor him more, so what will you do? You give him some nice vastra. So all that can be done. And if you want to honor him further, you can give some ring, you can give some necklace, whatever. So this is bhusha is possible, vastra is possible, asanam is possible. Of course kusuma, kusuma means basically flower. Now what he says is, this Parameshwara does not necessarily like what we like. So his sasanam is different, his vastram is different, you understand? His kusuma is different, then kusuma, bhusha, vastra, okay? Bhusha is also different. So now the problem is, whatever is your bhusha, how can I offer? Whatever is your vastra, how can I offer? Whatever is your asana, how can I offer? So what is the idea here? The idea here is, his asana is visham, hala hala visham. Okay? How do I generate hala hala visha for you? Okay? So therefore, this is not possible. Asana is not ruled out. Okay? Now we have to go to kusuma. So kusuma. So for asana, to offer something which is so special, okay, to offer something, what should I do? I have to create this samudra mathana. Okay, that is impossible for me. Therefore, he starts the verse by saying, Jaladhi mathana dakshaha naiva. Understand? Jaladhi is samudra. Mathanam is Agni. Daksha is one who is expert in that. Jaladhi Mathana Dakshaha Naivaham. So it is absolutely impossible for me, therefore. This most important element of puja is ashanam, right? Suppose you have some Brahmana Samaradhana, you invite and you give only some upma and send them off. It's not going to work, right? So this ashanam, so I have to feed you something which you like. So this is difficult. Jalati matana dakshaha naivaham. Then the second thing is kusuma. Now this kusuma, normally it can be taken as flower. Okay, kusuma is flower. Now this Parameshwara is generally not described as Alankara Priya. We generally say Alankara Priya Vishnu. Okay. So this person does not like all that. Assuming that you want to offer some best flower, let us say Parijata. But the Parijata flower is also supposed to have come from Samudra Mathana. Okay, Parijata. So therefore, since I cannot do this Samudra Mathana, I cannot offer you Kusuma, which is one way. The other way of understanding this Kusuma is, so even now, this Independence Day, so they were showering from helicopter, they were pouring this flowers. So that has to fall on the head. So nowadays people do that. Some device will be there, tadak, pushpa vrishti will be there. So it has to be on the head. So this Parameshwara's head, okay. So the only Kusuma that we find is Chandra, okay, Adani. Kusuma is something we should just take as something Adani. So this Chandra also came from this only. Okay. So that which acts like a Kusuma on your head is only Chandra. Okay. That is also something which is generated through Samudra Mathana. Therefore, Ashana, Kusuma both are ruled out. See, Ashananche, Kusumanche, Ashana Kusumam, Samahara. Both are gone. Why? Jaladi Mathana Dakshaha Naiva. Now, the second thing is Patala Bhedi. What he says. This Patala Loka is where the serpents are described to be there. Head of the serpent and so on. Now, for me to get to the best of the serpents to come and occupy your neck, which is the Bhusha. Okay? So, how am I going to do? I cannot go to Patala Loka also. Patala Devi Nache. Okay? I am totally incompetent. Okay? Of getting into the Patala Loka and then offering you some ornament Bhusha. That is also ruled out. Okay? Jaladi Mathana Daksho Naiva Patala Bhedi. Then he says, Nacha Vanamrigayayam Naiva Lubdhaf Praveenaha. What does the word Mrigaya mean? Sheep. Mrigaya means hunting. Okay? So Mrigaya refers to that. Now, Vanamrigaya means you have to go to forest. So hunting in the forest. So hunting in the forest is referred to specifically because so our Parameshwara is supposed to be Vyagra Charma Uttariya. Understand? So this fellow wears only the tiger skin. Okay? How am I going to offer this vastra to you? Okay? I am not even trained in hunting. Forget about being skilled in hunting. That is why he uses the word Praveenaha Pata. Praveenaha. So where is the word hunter here? The word Lubdha is used. Normally, the word lubdhaha is used to refer to someone who is greedy of something. Lubdha. Okay? But this hunter's mentality is like this. More and more and more. Therefore, those fellows, akankshi. Okay? So he is a serious akankshi fellow. Therefore, the word lubdha is used to refer to vyadha. Okay? So gridhunuhu is also meaning, but vyadha. Okay? Vyadha. Now the word lubdha is also used, and the swartheka pratyaya lubdhaka is also used to refer to hunter. In fact, there is an interesting verse. This is a very important verse to learn. Mrigamina sajjananam.
Mrigamina sajjananam. Mrigamina sajjananam.
Trinajala santosha.
Trinajala santosha. Trinajala santosha.
Vihita vrittinam.
Vihita vrittinam. Vihita vrittinam.
Lubdhaka dhivara pishunaha.
Lubdhaka dhivara pishunaha. Lubdhaka dhivara pishunaha.
Nishkarana vairino bhavanti.
Nishkarana vairino bhavanti. Nishkarana vairino bhavanti.
So I found this verse to be extremely useful in order to handle situations when we deal with the world. See, we will encounter various situations where this fellow has unnecessarily developed some hatred towards me. So this is something which is very common. There may not be any reason as to why he should have developed some hatred towards you. Okay? So this verse basically tells you that this is in nature. So it is enmity, developing some enmity, hatred, animosity, etc. So this some people do, and therefore you don't need to worry, because some people start worrying. If he is so, let him think so. What is my problem? That is how you have to understand that. So for that he says beautiful similes. Mriga meena sajjananam. See, three people. So mriga, okay, one kind of animal. Meena, okay, so it is fish. Sajjana, the good person, noble person. What he says is, these three which I have listed. Mriga is something which moves on, so it is just to take animal variety. The second is some jalajantu. The third is manushya jantu. These three people, mrigamina sajjananam, how do they have the livelihood? These three people, these three entities listed, these three animals. Okay. Trina. The mriga is very happy. The deer is very happy by just grazing the grass here and there. Okay. Trina. Meena is very happy by just moving in water. Okay. Sajjana is very happy by himself. Okay. Santosha vihita vrittinam. Okay. So mriga lives by grass. Meena lives by staying in water. And Sajjana lives by his own santosha. Whatever he gets, he is very happy. If you are not happy with what you have got, then you are not a sajjana. That is what santosha vihita vrittinam. Then he says, lubdhaka dhivara pishunaha. These three fellows. So mriga, this hunter goes and then hunts it. Okay, unnecessarily he goes and what did the mriga do for him? For him to finish that. Right? Dhivara. What did the fish do for the fisherman to catch and kill it? Okay, Meena and Sajjana. Pishunaha. He is a very good person who is just happy by himself. Unnecessarily you create some rumor about him. Okay, this Pishunaha. These three fellows, Nishkarana Vairino Bhavanti. There is no reason for them to do these things, but they develop some enmity and try to finish them. Okay. So this is how we may have to console ourselves when some situation happens. You don't bother. Okay. So now come back to this Lubdha Praveenaha. This Lubdha means Vyadha. Okay. So he says, Aham Praveenaha Lubdhaha Naiva. Nor am I a skilled hunter in order to slay a tiger and then bring this vastra for you. So it is not possible for me. Therefore, he says, Ashana Kusuma Bhusha Vastra Mukhyam Saparyam. The puja which involves all these entities can never be brought by me. So how is it that am I going to do puja for you, O Parmeshwara? See, that is what he says. Read this now. Jaladhi Matana Daksho Naiva Patalabhidi. There are two ways of rendering. Jaladhi Matana Daksho Naiva Patalabhidi. Nachavana Mriganyayam Naiva Lubdha Praveenaha. Ashana Kusuma Bhusha Vastra Mukhyam Sasaryam. Kathaya Kathamaham Te Kalpayami Indumole. Jaladhi Mathana Daksho Naiva Patala Bhedi Nachavana Mrigayayam Naiva Lubdha Praveenaha. Ashana Kusuma Bhusha Vastra Mukhyam Saparyam. Kathaya Kathamaham Te Kalpayami Indumole. Okay, so we'll stop here. Om Sarve Vishikana Santu Sarve Santaniramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Pashyantu Dukha